brought to you by Soundlibra.com. You can find a direct link to our full library in the description of this audio, or visit us anytime at Soundlibra.com. Welcome to the Energy Blueprint, unlocking sustained vitality and peak performance. Before we dive in, just a quick heads up that while we're discussing wellness and energy, this content is for informational purposes only and isn't medical advice. Always check with a professional for your specific health needs.
That's an important note to keep in mind. We're challenging the idea that more time equals more done, as that approach often leaves us drained.
This series is about managing your energy, not your time. Think of your energy like a rechargeable battery that needs a plan for recharging.
So, why is managing energy more effective than managing time?
Time is fixed, but our energy levels fluctuate. Managing energy means working with your natural rhythms, not against them, to be more effective.
It's about leveraging our peak times and understanding our low times.
Precisely. To master this, we explore 4 key energy domains: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual.
Let's break those down. Starting with physical energy. What does that encompass?
Physical energy comes from sleep, nutrition, hydration, and movement. If your body is depleted, your ability to focus, think, and manage emotions suffers.
Like trying to drive a car with an empty gas tank.
A perfect analogy. Domain 1, nurturing your physical engine.
Okay, physical energy is our body. What about the second domain? Mental energy.
Mental energy is about focus, clarity, processing information, and problem solving. Distractions and information overload can drain this mental battery.
This is where many of us feel the burn, juggling too much.
Absolutely. We'll explore how to protect and boost your mental energy for sharper focus.
So we have physical and mental. What's next? The emotional engine.
The emotional engine is about managing your feelings. Stress and anxiety deplete emotional energy, impacting decisions and clarity. Positive emotions, however, can replenish it.
Emotions have a massive impact on our capacity to function. Learning to navigate them is key.
It is. Building resilience with emotional energy helps you bounce back from challenges faster.
So physical, mental, emotional, and the fourth domain is spiritual energy? That might sound abstract.
Spiritual energy is the foundation for sustained vitality. It's about your sense of purpose, values, and connection to something larger. When aligned with your purpose, you have a powerful source of motivation and resilience through difficult times.
It's about that deeper why that drives us. Challenging tasks feel more meaningful.
Exactly. A strong spiritual anchor provides context and meaning, making you more resilient and energized.
To recap, true productivity and sustained vitality come from managing our energy, not just our time. We'll explore harnessing and recharging energy across physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual domains.
That's a perfect summary, Lisa. In the coming episodes, we'll dive deep into each domain, providing practical strategies. We'll start with the power of ultradian rhythms and how to work with your body's natural cycles. Then move into specific renewal rituals for your physical energy.
So, if you're feeling drained, overwhelmed, and like you're constantly chasing the clock, you're in the right place.
This is just the beginning of your journey to unlock your full energy potential.
Thanks for listening. Next episode, the power of ultradian rhythms, working with your natural cycles.
Welcome back. Last time, we introduced managing energy, not just time. Now, let's tackle ultradian rhythms.
Ultradian rhythms. That sounds a bit technical, Alex. What exactly are we talking about here?
Great question, Lisa. Ultradian rhythms are natural, recurring cycles of energy and alertness within a 24-hour period. Think of them as mini energy surges and dips. While we know the circadian rhythm for sleep-wake, ultradian rhythms operate on a shorter time scale, typically lasting about 90 to 120 minutes.
So, it's like our internal battery recharging and depleting throughout the day?
Exactly. Imagine your body and brain have about an hour and a half of optimal focus. Then they need a short break to reset. After that break, you're ready for another peak period. It's a natural ebb and flow.
That's incredible. I always just thought I was getting tired or distracted randomly. So, you're saying these ebbs and flows are normal and predictable?
Precisely. The key is to start recognizing and working with these rhythms rather than fighting against them. Most of us power through, try to maintain peak performance for hours. This is where burnout creeps in. We push ourselves through a low energy phase, which is far less efficient and much more draining.
So, if I'm feeling my focus start to wane after about an hour of work, it's probably my ultradian rhythm telling me to take a break?
You've got it. That dip in energy isn't a sign of weakness. It's a signal from your body that it's time for a brief recharge. Instead of pushing through and staring blankly at your screen, what if you use that time for a short, intentional break?
What kind of breaks are we talking about? Are we saying I should go take a nap every 90 minutes?
Not necessarily a full nap, though a short power nap can be very effective if your schedule allows. The goal of these breaks is to give your brain a chance to rest and recover, allowing you to return to your high energy phase refreshed and more focused. Think of a 5 to 10-minute break. It could be anything that takes you away from intense cognitive load.
Like what? What's on the menu for an effective ultradian rhythm break?
Simple things work best. Stand up and stretch, walk around the room, or even step outside for a breath of fresh air. Listen to a song. Do a few quick mindfulness exercises or deep breathing. The key is to disengage from the task at hand completely. You're not just switching to checking emails. You're truly giving your brain a different kind of input or a moment of rest.
So, the idea is to stack up these focused work periods, followed by short recovery breaks. It's like sprints, but for our brains.
That's a fantastic analogy, Lisa. Think of it as ultradian sprints. You dedicate a focused period to a task, knowing that a break is coming soon. When a natural dip in energy or focus occurs, you honor it with a short, restorative break. Then you come back ready for another high-performance ultradian cycle. This approach helps prevent that feeling of constant mental fatigue.
How do we actually identify these rhythms in ourselves? I don't have a built-in timer that goes off every 90 minutes.
It's about paying attention to your own body and mind. You can start by simply noticing when your energy levels naturally dip. Are you starting to feel restless? Is your mind wandering? Do you find yourself rereading the same sentence? These are all clues. You can also experiment. Try dedicating a period of intense focus for about 90 minutes, and then consciously take a 10-minute break. Notice how you feel when you return to your task. Over time, you'll start to develop an intuitive sense of your personal ultradian rhythm.
So, instead of scheduling my day based on rigid blocks of time, I should be thinking in terms of these ultradian cycles?
That's the shift. It's moving from a time-based approach to an energy-based approach. Imagine you have an important project. Instead of setting aside a 3-hour block, you might schedule two 90-minute focused work sessions, with a 15-minute break in between and another short break after the second session. This allows you to work at your natural peak performance during those focused intervals and gives your brain the recovery it needs.
This sounds like a much more sustainable way to work, and frankly, a lot less stressful. It feels like I'm working with my body, not against it.
Exactly, Lisa. And the benefits are significant. By honoring these natural rhythms, you can improve your concentration, reduce errors, boost creativity, and ultimately, prevent burnout. You'll find yourself feeling more energized and less drained at the end of the day. Remember, it's about working smarter, not just harder, and ultradian rhythms are a fundamental part of that intelligence.
So, to recap, Ultradian rhythms are those natural 90 to 120-minute cycles of energy and focus that we experience throughout the day. Instead of pushing through fatigue, we should schedule short, restorative breaks when these natural dips occur. By aligning our work with these rhythms, we can significantly improve our productivity and well-being.
That's perfectly summarized. Embracing your ultradian rhythms is a powerful step towards managing your energy effectively. Next episode, Renewal Rituals, recharging your physical energy. Welcome back. Last time, we explored ultradian rhythms and working with your natural energy cycles. Now, let's focus on renewing your physical energy.
Renewal rituals. That sounds so much more inviting than just taking a break. It implies something proactive, something that actively recharges us, rather than just stopping the drain.
Exactly, Lisa. Think of it this way. Your body is like a high-performance vehicle. You wouldn't just push it to the limit without refueling or maintenance, would you? Renewal rituals are those essential pit stops for your physical energy, allowing you to perform at your best for longer.
So, this isn't just about getting enough sleep, though that's certainly crucial. What kind of rituals are we talking about?
Sleep is foundational, absolutely. But we're talking about strategic, actionable practices that you can weave into your day, even when you're packed to the brim with tasks. One of the most powerful, yet often overlooked, is the strategic nap. Now, I'm not talking about a deep, hours-long slumber that leaves you groggy. I'm referring to the power nap, typically between 10 to 20 minutes.
The 10 to 20-minute recharge. I've heard about those. But how much of a difference can such a short rest really make?
A significant difference. Picture this. Your brain is like a computer that's been running too many programs. A short nap acts like a quick reboot. It helps clear out metabolic byproducts that build up during the day, improves alertness, enhances memory consolidation, and boosts mood. It's like hitting a refresh button for your mind and body. The key is not to let it go too deep into sleep cycles, which can cause that groggy feeling. Setting a timer is your best friend here.
That makes sense. So, if I feel that 3 p.m. slump coming on, instead of reaching for another coffee, a 15-minute power nap might be exactly what I need to get through the rest of the afternoon effectively.
Precisely. And moving on from napping, let's talk about mindful movement breaks. These are not necessarily about intense exercise, though that's important too. These are short bursts of physical activity woven into your day to counteract the effects of prolonged sitting and mental strain.
I think many of us know we should move more, but it feels like another thing to add to the to-do list. How can we make these breaks feel like a renewal and not another chore?
The trick is to reframe them. Instead of viewing them as exercise, think of them as energy boosters. Simple actions like stretching, walking around the block, or even doing a few jumping jacks can make a world of difference. When we sit for long periods, our circulation slows down, our muscles can become tight, and our focus can wane. A short movement break helps to reoxygenate the brain, release endorphins, our natural mood elevators, and break the mental fatigue cycle.
So, it's about being intentional with our movement, even for just 5 minutes. I can definitely see how that would help prevent that feeling of being stuck in a rut.
Absolutely. And speaking of what fuels us, let's touch upon hydration. It sounds so basic, yet its impact on our physical energy is profound. Dehydration, even mild dehydration, can lead to fatigue, headaches, and decreased cognitive function. Our bodies are composed of a large percentage of water, and every single cell needs it to function optimally.
It's funny, isn't it? We talk about nutrition, sleep, and exercise, but water often gets sidelined. People think of it as just drinking something.
Exactly. But think of water as the transport system for nutrients and the lubricant for all our bodily processes. When you're even slightly dehydrated, your blood volume decreases, meaning your heart has to work harder to pump blood, which uses up more energy. It's a direct drain on your physical vitality. So, keeping a water bottle handy and sipping throughout the day is a simple yet incredibly effective renewal ritual.
That's a great way to put it, a transport system. It really highlights why it's so vital. What else is on your list of powerful renewal rituals, Alex?
Getting outside. This is a big one. Our bodies are attuned to the natural world, and spending time in nature, even for a short while, can have a remarkable restorative effect. We're talking about the benefits of fresh air, natural light, and simply being in a different environment.
I've noticed that myself. Even a quick walk in a park can shift my entire mood and energy level. Why is that?
It's a combination of factors. Natural light helps regulate our circadian rhythms, which influences our sleep-wake cycles and energy levels. The fresh air provides more oxygen, which, as we discussed, is crucial for brain function and energy production. Plus, studies have shown that spending time in nature can reduce stress hormones, lower blood pressure, and improve our mood. It's a natural reset button. Think about it. When you're feeling overwhelmed or drained, stepping outside into a green space can often provide a sense of calm and perspective that's hard to achieve indoors.
So, it's not just about the physical act of being outside, but the entire sensory experience. The sights, the sounds, the smells, it all contributes to that renewal.
Precisely. And the key takeaway for all these rituals, power naps, mindful movement, hydration, and getting outside, is integration. It's not about adding massive blocks of time to your day. It's about small, consistent actions. For instance, set a reminder to take a 5-minute stretch break every hour. Keep a water bottle on your desk and aim to refill it twice a day. Plan a short walk during your lunch break. Even turning off screens for 10 minutes and just looking out a window can be a form of renewal.
It really brings home the idea that managing our energy isn't about having more time. It's about being smarter with the time we have by strategically incorporating these moments of recharge. It's about quality, not just quantity of our downtime.
Exactly. So, to recap, today we've explored the power of renewal rituals as essential strategies for recharging our physical energy. We discussed the benefits of short, strategic power naps to clear our minds, the revitalizing effects of mindful movement breaks to combat sedentary fatigue, the foundational importance of staying hydrated as our body's transport system, and the profound restorative impact of spending time in nature. These aren't luxuries. They are vital components of maintaining sustained energy throughout your day.
It's about actively choosing moments for rejuvenation rather than just waiting for burnout. These are actionable steps we can all start implementing right away to feel more vibrant and capable.
Moving forward, we'll build on this physical foundation by looking at how we fuel our bodies and minds. Join us next time as we tackle fueling your focus, mindful nutrition for sustained energy. Welcome back. Last time we covered renewal rituals to recharge your physical energy. Now let's tackle fueling your focus.
Alex, this is so important. If we're eating foods that cause energy spikes and crashes, all our other efforts to manage energy might be undermined. It's like putting the wrong fuel in a high-performance car.
That's a great way to put it, Lisa. Our bodies need quality fuel to operate at their best. Mindful nutrition for sustained energy means understanding how our food choices directly affect our concentration and our ability to stay energized throughout the day.
So, what foods should we be wary of if we want to avoid those energy dips?
The primary saboteurs are refined sugars and processed carbohydrates. They cause a quick rise in blood sugar, followed by a rapid insulin response. This often leads to that familiar afternoon slump, complete with fatigue and brain fog.
The dreaded slump. So, sidestepping sugar highs is key. What constitutes a balanced meal for sustained energy then?
A balanced meal incorporates three main components: proteins, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates. Proteins, found in foods like lean meats, fish, eggs, beans, and lentils, help you feel full and are vital for body repair. They also don't cause those sharp blood sugar fluctuations.
And healthy fats, like those in avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil, contribute to feeling satisfied and are good for our brains. They also slow down digestion, further preventing energy drops.
Exactly. Now let's talk about carbohydrates. It's crucial to distinguish between simple and complex carbs. We want to focus on complex carbohydrates found in whole grains, vegetables, and fruits. These have a more intricate structure, meaning they break down slower. This provides a gradual, steady release of energy into your bloodstream, unlike the quick burst from simple sugars.
So, it's about choosing the slow-burning fuel source. To recap, sustained energy comes from meals combining protein, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates while avoiding excessive sugar and processed items.
Precisely. This brings us to mindful eating. It's about paying attention to your body's hunger and fullness signals, eating slowly, and savoring each bite. This practice helps us make better food choices that genuinely nourish us.
But in our hectic lives, Alex, eating mindfully can be a real challenge. Many of us grab food on the go. What are some practical strategies for making healthier choices when time is short?
Preparation is your greatest ally. Meal prepping healthy snacks like hard-boiled eggs, nuts, or pre-cut vegetables can make a significant difference when you're busy. Having these ready saves you from reaching for less healthy convenience options.
So, planning ahead by packing healthy snacks the night before is a key takeaway.
Indeed, when eating out or buying food, aim for meals rich in lean protein and vegetables. Opt for whole grain bread for sandwiches and fill them with veggies and protein. A salad should include a good protein source like grilled chicken or beans.
And what about drinks? Are there common energy pitfalls there?
Absolutely. Sugary sodas and even some juices can cause those same blood sugar spikes. Water is fundamental for sustained energy and focus. Herbal teas are also excellent choices. Sometimes, what feels like a lack of energy is simply mild dehydration.
I hadn't considered dehydration's impact on focus. So, water is a simple yet powerful tool.
It truly is. Let's consider meal examples. For breakfast, instead of sugary cereal, try oatmeal with berries and nuts or scrambled eggs with spinach. Lunch could be a substantial salad with protein or a whole grain wrap with lean fillings. Dinner should consist of lean protein, plenty of vegetables, and a moderate portion of complex carbs like quinoa or sweet potato.
This perspective helps reframe how I approach my daily food intake. It's about fueling my body and brain strategically for optimal performance, not just satisfying hunger.
Exactly. By prioritizing balanced macronutrients, complex carbohydrates, healthy fats and proteins, and minimizing refined sugars and processed foods, you build a solid foundation for lasting energy and mental clarity. It's about making conscious, nourishing choices that support your unique energy needs.
To recap for our listeners, we've discussed avoiding energy zapping foods like refined sugars and processed carbs. We've highlighted how balanced meals with protein, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates provide steady energy. We touched on mindful eating and offered practical tips for making smart food choices on the go, emphasizing preparation and conscious selection. And we stress the importance of hydration. It's all about fueling our focus to manage our energy effectively.
That's a perfect summary, Lisa. By aligning our nutrition with our body's natural needs, we can significantly boost our sustained energy and mental clarity. Next episode, the energizing mind, cultivating mental clarity and focus. Welcome back. Last time we covered mindful nutrition. Now let's tackle mental energy.
It's time to tune into the powerhouse that is our brain. I'm eager to learn how we can truly energize our minds.
Mental energy is about sustained attention, clarity, processing information, and deep work. Think of your mental energy like a battery that drains with shallow tasks or distractions.
That battery analogy is perfect. So, how do we keep that mental battery charged and focused?
One fundamental strategy is single tasking. Our world encourages juggling multiple things, but constant task switching is incredibly draining. Each switch costs cognitive effort, leading to fatigue and errors.
It sounds so natural, doesn't it? But you're saying it's actually detrimental?
Precisely. The antidote is to focus on one task at a time, giving it your undivided attention. This allows your brain to enter a state of focused concentration, which is far more efficient and less tiring.
Single tasking. It sounds so simple, but it's a stark contrast to how many of us operate. How do we actually implement that?
Minimizing distractions is key. Create an environment that supports your focus. Turn off non-essential notifications, close irrelevant browser tabs, and let others know when you need uninterrupted time. Think of it as creating a focus bubble.
A focus bubble. I like that. So we tackle distractions, we single task. What else helps build mental energy?
Deliberate practice is powerful. It's not just repeating something, it's focused, intentional effort to improve. It involves setting specific goals, focusing on weaknesses, and seeking feedback. This stretches your cognitive abilities, making them stronger.
So, it's about pushing past your comfort zone with intention, not just rote repetition.
Exactly. And this intentional focus often leads to a state of flow. This is that state where you're so absorbed in an activity that time melts away. You're fully engaged, performing at your peak with a sense of effortless action.
Oh, yes. I know that feeling. It's incredibly rewarding.
It is. The key to entering flow is finding an activity that balances challenge and skill. If it's too easy, you get bored. If it's too hard, you get anxious. But when the challenge is just right for your skill level, your mind can become fully immersed.
So, to recap for our listeners, to cultivate mental energy, we need to practice single tasking, minimize distractions, creating focus bubbles, engage in deliberate practice, and aim for that immersive flow state by balancing challenge and skill.
That's a perfect summary, Lisa. Mental clarity and focus are skills we can train and develop. Just like physical exercise strengthens our bodies, these mental practices strengthen our minds.
It's empowering to know we have this much control over our cognitive resources.
It truly is. Improved focus leads to better decision-making, enhanced creativity, and a greater sense of well-being. Start small. Dedicate 25 minutes to a single task with no interruptions tomorrow. See how it feels.
That's a great call to action. Notice the small shifts and build from there.
Indeed, your mind is one of your most powerful assets. Nurturing its energy and focus is crucial.
We've explored how to energize our minds. Next episode, we'll be tapping into our emotional world and discovering how managing our inner state impacts our overall energy.
Next episode, the emotional engine, managing your inner state. Welcome back to the Energy Blueprint. Last time, we explored how to fuel your focus with mindful nutrition. Now, we're discussing managing your inner state.
It's true, Alex. We often think of energy in physical terms, but our emotional state can either boost us or completely drain us. It's like having an internal engine that can either purr with power or sputter and stall.
Exactly. And that's why today we're talking about the emotional engine, managing your inner state. We'll explore how our emotions impact our overall energy, how to identify what's draining us emotionally, and most importantly, how to cultivate positive emotions and build resilience.
So, when we talk about emotional energy, what exactly are we referring to? It feels a bit abstract compared to, say, the energy from food.
That's a great question, Lisa. Think of emotional energy as your capacity to feel, engage with, and navigate your inner world. It's not just about feeling happy all the time. It's about having the resilience to handle disappointment, the patience to deal with frustration, and the enthusiasm to pursue your goals. When your emotional energy is high, you feel more engaged, motivated, and capable. Conversely, when it's low, everything feels harder and you might experience symptoms like fatigue, irritability, or a general lack of interest.
It makes sense. When I'm feeling stressed or anxious, I definitely feel a physical drain too. It's hard to concentrate, and I just don't have the motivation to do anything.
Precisely. Stress, anxiety, anger, disappointment. These are all emotional states that can consume a significant amount of our energy. Think of them like a leaky faucet, constantly dripping away at your reserves. One of the first steps in managing our emotional engine is identifying these leaks. What are the common emotional drains you see in yourself or others?
Well, I think negative self-talk is a big one. That inner critic can be relentless, telling you you're not good enough or that you'll fail. It's exhausting.
Absolutely. Negative self-talk is a powerful energy drain. It creates a cycle of doubt and fear that can paralyze us. Another common drain is dwelling on the past or worrying excessively about the future. This prevents us from being present and enjoying the energy available to us right now. We often get stuck in what if scenarios or replaying past hurts, and that occupies so much mental and emotional bandwidth.
And what about external factors? Are relationships or demanding situations also emotional drains?
Undeniably, unresolved conflicts, toxic relationships, or even just environments that are consistently negative can siphon our emotional energy. It's like trying to run a marathon with a heavy backpack on. It's an uphill battle. So, step one is awareness, recognizing these drains. Are you constantly complaining? Are you replaying negative interactions in your head? Are you feeling overwhelmed by external pressures without feeling in control? These are indicators.
Okay, so we've identified the leaks. What's the next step? How do we actually manage your inner state and keep that engine running smoothly?
This is where the active cultivation of positive emotions and resilience comes in. It's not about suppressing negative feelings, but rather about developing healthy responses and strengthening our capacity to bounce back. One incredibly effective technique is mindfulness and presence. By focusing on the here and now, we reduce the power of those past regrets or future worries.
So, being present, almost like a mental reset button.
Exactly. Another powerful tool is gratitude. Regularly taking a moment to appreciate what you have, big or small, can shift your emotional focus from lack to abundance. It's a simple yet profound way to refuel your emotional engine. Think about it. When you're focused on what you're grateful for, it's much harder to also feel intensely anxious or resentful.
I can see that. It's like shifting your internal broadcast from a negative channel to a positive one.
A perfect analogy, Lisa. And speaking of shifting channels, let's talk about reframing negative thoughts. When that inner critic pipes up, can we consciously challenge it? Instead of, I'm going to fail, can we reframe it as, this is challenging, but I can learn from it and do my best? This takes practice, of course, but it's a vital skill for emotional resilience.
That's empowering. So we're not just passively experiencing our emotions, we can actively influence them.
Absolutely. And it's also about building an emotionally supportive environment. This means setting healthier boundaries in relationships, seeking out positive and inspiring people, and creating personal rituals that nourish your emotional well-being. This could be anything from journaling, spending time in nature, or engaging in a hobby you love. These are your emotional energy boosters.
It sounds like a continuous process of tuning up and maintaining your internal engine, rather than a one-time fix.
That's precisely right. It requires consistent attention and practice. Remember when we discussed renewal rituals for physical energy? The same principle applies to our emotional energy. We need regular emotional refueling. This might mean taking short breaks during the day to simply breathe and check in with yourself. It could be a quick 5-minute meditation, listening to uplifting music, or even a few moments of quiet reflection.
And building resilience. That's the ability to not just weather the storm, but to come out stronger on the other side. How do we foster that?
Resilience is built through a combination of these practices: self-awareness, positive reframing, gratitude, and a strong support system. It's also about accepting that setbacks are a normal part of life. Instead of viewing them as failures, we can see them as opportunities for growth. This acceptance is key to preventing emotional energy drain. When we resist what is, we expend a lot of energy fighting reality.
So, to recap for our listeners, we've learned that emotional energy is our capacity to feel and engage with our inner world, significantly impacting our overall vitality. We need to identify our emotional drains, like negative self-talk, dwelling on the past, or challenging relationships. Then, we actively cultivate positive emotions and build resilience through practices like mindfulness, gratitude, reframing thoughts, setting boundaries, and creating supportive rituals.
Exactly. By actively managing our inner state, we can transform our emotional engine from a potential drain into a powerful source of sustained energy, happiness, and productivity. It's about taking control of your internal landscape.
This is so important. It's truly a blueprint for a more energized and fulfilling life. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Lisa. Next episode, we'll be exploring the spiritual spark, connecting to purpose and meaning. Welcome back. Last time we explored the emotional engine. Now let's tackle the spiritual spark.
That's right, Alex. Last time, we explored the emotional engine, understanding how our feelings impact our energy levels. Today, we're going even deeper. It's easy to see energy in terms of our physical bodies or our mental sharpness, but neglecting our spiritual energy can leave us feeling depleted, even when we're doing all the right things.
Exactly, Lisa. Think about it. When you're truly aligned with a purpose, when you feel that sense of meaning in what you're doing, your energy feels different. It's not just about avoiding fatigue. It's about having a wellspring of motivation, resilience, and even joy that can carry you through challenges. This is about connecting to something larger than our everyday tasks.
So, when we talk about spiritual energy, what exactly do we mean? It can sound a bit abstract.
It absolutely can, but that's why we're here to break it down. For our purposes in the energy blueprint, spiritual energy isn't necessarily about organized religion, though it certainly can be for some. It's about your deeply held values, your sense of purpose in life, your connection to something greater than yourself, whether that's nature, humanity, or a universal energy. It's about understanding why you do what you do beyond just the daily to-do list.
I see. So, it's about having a guiding star, a set of principles that inform your actions and give your life direction.
Precisely. When you have a strong connection to your spiritual core, you tap into a profound source of energy. This can manifest as increased resilience when facing setbacks. Instead of being knocked down by difficulties, you have a deeper reason to get back up. It provides perspective. Problems that might seem overwhelming on a surface level can feel more manageable when viewed through the lens of your values and purpose.
That makes so much sense. When you feel like your actions have a deeper meaning, it's easier to push through the tough times. It's like having an internal battery that stays charged because it's connected to something fundamental.
Absolutely. And this kind of energy isn't something you can force. It's cultivated through reflection, gratitude, and intentional connection. So, how do we cultivate this spiritual spark in our busy lives? One of the most powerful ways is through gratitude. Taking moments to acknowledge and appreciate what you have, the people around you, the opportunities you possess. This shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant.
Gratitude really does change your entire outlook, doesn't it? It's like shining a spotlight on the good, which in turn amplifies it.
It does. And gratitude isn't just a feeling, it's a practice. It can be as simple as starting your day by thinking of three things you're grateful for, or keeping a gratitude journal. This simple act can rewire your brain to notice the positive, fueling your spiritual energy. Another key practice is mindfulness. Being present in the moment, truly experiencing what you're doing without judgment, allows you to connect with your inner self and the world around you more deeply.
Mindfulness. We've touched on it before, but it really underpins so many aspects of energy management, doesn't it? From mental clarity to emotional regulation, and now to spiritual connection.
It's the common thread. When you're mindful, you're more aware of your values, your purpose, and your connection to others. You can observe your thoughts and feelings, and this self-awareness is crucial for understanding what truly nourishes your spirit. It allows you to identify those moments of deep meaning and hold on to them.
So, beyond gratitude and mindfulness, what else can we do?
Connecting with nature is another potent way to tap into spiritual energy. Spend time outdoors, observe the natural world, feel the sun on your skin, listen to the sounds. Nature has a way of grounding us, reminding us of our place in a larger ecosystem and fostering a sense of awe. This can be incredibly spiritually revitalizing.
I always feel more centered after a walk in the park or a hike in the woods. It's like all the noise of daily life just fades away, and I reconnect with something more fundamental.
Exactly. And for some, this connection might involve acts of service, contributing to their community, or engaging in creative pursuits that express their inner world. The key is to find activities that resonate with your core values and bring you a sense of fulfillment beyond external rewards. It's about aligning your actions with your soul's calling, however you define that for yourself.
So, to recap for our listeners, the spiritual spark refers to our connection to values, purpose, and something larger than ourselves. This connection provides profound and sustained energy, resilience, and perspective. We can cultivate this energy through practices like gratitude, mindfulness, connecting with nature, and engaging in meaningful activities aligned with our core values.
That's a perfect summary, Lisa. Remember, this isn't about adding more to your already busy schedule. It's about weaving moments of intention and reflection into your day. It's about asking yourself, what truly matters to me? And how can my actions reflect those deeply held beliefs? When you answer these questions, you unlock a powerful source of energy that can transform how you experience your life.
It's about living with intention and a sense of deep meaning. It's the engine that drives authentic vitality.
Indeed, by nurturing our spiritual spark, we build a more robust, resilient, and fulfilling energy blueprint. Next episode, identifying your energy drains, the leaks in your blueprint.
That sounds incredibly practical. Looking forward to it.
Me too. Until then, try to find a moment today to connect with what gives your life meaning. Thanks for listening. Welcome back. Last time, we explored the spiritual spark, connecting to purpose and meaning. Today, we're identifying your energy drains. Think of it like finding the leaks in your energy blueprint.
That's a great analogy, Alex. If we're constantly losing energy through unseen leaks, we'll never feel revitalized. So, today, we're becoming energy detectives.
Exactly. We need to revisit the four core energy domains: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Our energy drains can manifest in any of these areas, both internally and externally.
Internal drains are things we do or think, and external drains are things outside of us, like people or environments.
Precisely. Let's start with physical energy drains. Internally, poor sleep is a massive drain. Skipping meals or eating processed foods starves your body of fuel. Even mild dehydration makes you sluggish.
And overconsumption of caffeine or sugar, giving us a spike but then a crash?
Absolutely. Those are classic examples of short-term fixes that lead to long-term draining. On the external physical side, think about your environment. Is your workspace uncomfortable? Poor ergonomics can lead to fatigue, draining your physical energy. Is your home cluttered and chaotic? That can create background stress that depletes you.
It's fascinating how physical things outside us can impact our physical bodies. So, the physical drains are internally sleep, nutrition, hydration, and managing stimulants. Externally, it's our physical environment.
You've got it. Now, mental energy drains. Internally, multitasking fragments focus and is incredibly draining. Rumination or dwelling on negative thoughts is another huge mental energy thief.
Oh, rumination. That's like a hamster wheel for the brain, going nowhere but exhausting you.
It really is. A lack of clear goals or priorities can also lead to mental drain. When you don't know where you're going, you can feel paralyzed, which uses up a lot of mental energy. Externally, information overload. Social media, constant news, competes for your attention and mental bandwidth.
So, internally for mental energy, we're looking at focus, managing thoughts, and clarity. Externally, it's about the volume of things demanding our attention.
Exactly. Now, emotional energy drains. Internally, this often comes down to our emotional regulation. Suppressing emotions takes immense effort. Unresolved conflicts fester and drain our emotional reserves.
So, it's not just about feeling emotions, but how we deal with them.
Precisely. Holding on to negative emotions like resentment is like carrying a heavy backpack all day. Externally, toxic relationships are a major emotional drain. People who are constantly negative can suck the joy and energy right out of you.
I can definitely see that. For emotional drains, internally, it's about healthy emotional processing and letting go of negativity. Externally, it's about the quality of our relationships.
And finally, spiritual energy drains. Internally, this happens when we feel disconnected from our values or purpose. Living a life that doesn't align with what truly matters is deeply draining. Guilt and shame also chip away at our spiritual core.
That idea of living out of alignment with our values is powerful. It's like trying to run a marathon with shoes on the wrong feet. You might keep moving, but it's incredibly inefficient and painful.
A perfect analogy. Externally, a lack of contribution or a feeling of meaninglessness can be a spiritual drain. When we don't feel part of something bigger than ourselves, it can leave us feeling hollow.
So, our energy drains can be physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual. And for each, there are internal drains, our habits and thought patterns, and external drains, our environments and relationships.
That's the core of it. The next step for our listeners is to become aware. I encourage you to grab a notebook or use your phone's notes app, and for the next few days, jot down moments when you feel particularly drained.
And try to identify which of the four domains it relates to. Was it a lack of sleep? A frustrating conversation? Feeling overwhelmed by emails?
Exactly. Don't judge, just observe. Once you start to see the patterns, you can then begin to strategically plug those leaks and reinforce your energy blueprint. We'll be building on this in the next episode by discussing how to structure your day for vitality.
So, to recap, today we identified that energy drains are the holes in our energy blueprint, affecting our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well being. We explored both internal factors like our habits and thoughts, and external factors like our environments and relationships. Becoming aware of these drains is the crucial first step to managing them.
Next episode, building your daily architecture, structuring for vitality. Welcome back. Last time, we explored identifying energy drains. Now let's build.
It's empowering to move from understanding what depletes us to designing days that support our energy. How do we proactively structure our days for vitality, Alex?
It's about intentional design, creating a flexible framework that honors our natural energy patterns. We're putting those Ultradian rhythms from episode 2 to work in our daily architecture.
So, we should align our days with those roughly 90-minute cycles of focus and rest?
Precisely. The core idea is to understand your personal peak energy times and schedule your most demanding tasks during those windows. This is about working with your body's natural flow.
Instead of pushing through a difficult task when my energy is low, I should tackle it during my peak time?
Exactly. And schedule lower demand activities or even physical movement during your natural dips. Strategic breaks are crucial refueling stops, allowing your brain to rest and reset. These are like mini renewal rituals we discussed in episode 3.
So, building our day strategically means understanding our energy curves, matching tasks to peak times, and using breaks for replenishment. It's a proactive approach.
Absolutely. And building in buffers is vital. Life rarely goes exactly to plan. So having wiggle room in your schedule absorbs minor disruptions without derailing your entire day.
That makes sense. It's about creating resilience in our daily structure.
And don't forget transition periods. Instead of jumping from deep focus to an email, allow yourself a moment to mentally shift gears, signal the end of a focus period, and transition with a clearer mind.
So, a structured day might look like demanding work during peak times, followed by breaks, then slightly less demanding tasks and administrative duties when energy is lower.
That's a perfect summary. It's about acknowledging your energy's ebb and flow and designing your day as a supportive environment. You're intentionally structuring your time to maximize vitality.
The metaphor of building our daily architecture emphasizes intentionality. We're actively constructing days that foster sustained energy.
And this architecture needs review. As life changes, your energy patterns might shift. Regularly check in with yourself to ensure your structure still serves you.
To recap, building our daily architecture for vitality involves aligning demanding tasks with peak energy times, strategically incorporating restorative breaks, building in buffers, and creating conscious transition periods. It's about designing our days to work with our energy.
Precisely. By consciously structuring our days, we manage our energy to live a more vital and fulfilled life. Next episode, energizing movement, more than just exercise. Welcome back to the Energy Blueprint. Last time, we discussed structuring your day for vitality. Now, let's explore energizing movement.
That's a great point, Alex. We often think of exercise as a separate event, but movement throughout the day can truly be an energy booster for all four of our energy domains.
Exactly, Lisa. We're talking about intentional, accessible movements that add energy, not drain it. It's like a constant refuel for your personal energy tank.
So it's about weaving movement into our daily lives, rather than treating it like a scheduled chore?
Precisely. Let's look at how movement positively impacts each energy domain. First, physical energy. Gentle movement increases blood flow, delivering more oxygen and nutrients. It revitalizes your body.
So, more circulation means more energy. How does this boost mental energy? I notice my mind clears after a short walk.
That's because movement releases endorphins, which improve mood and reduce stress. Crucially for focus, increased blood flow to the brain enhances attention and memory. That mental clarity is your brain responding to better oxygenation.
That's a practical benefit. I find my creativity sparks when I'm moving. How about emotional energy?
Movement is a powerful tool for emotional regulation. Physical activity helps release stored tension and allows for emotional processing. Think of how good it feels to shake out your arms when you're overwhelmed. It's a physical outlet for emotional release.
A physical release leading to an emotional one. That's a helpful way to see it. And spiritual energy? That seems less obvious.
It can be surprising, but movement fosters presence. When you're mindful of your body and surroundings, you connect more deeply to yourself, nature, or a sense of purpose. Mindful walking, noticing your breath with each step, can be grounding and connecting. It's about feeling more alive and attuned.
That's beautiful. So, movement is a holistic energy booster. What kinds of energizing movements are we talking about?
Small, consistent actions are key. Simple desk stretches, neck rolls, shoulder shrugs, spinal twists can make a difference after sitting. Even reaching for the ceiling wakes up your body.
I can definitely do that. What else?
Incorporate movement snacks, 5-minute breaks to walk around, do some jumping jacks, or dance. Breaking up long periods of stillness is vital. Consistency beats intensity here.
Movement snacks. I love that. It makes it feel manageable. What about outside of work?
Consider active commuting if possible, walking or biking. If not, park further away or take the stairs. These small choices add up significantly.
Those are great, accessible ideas. How can we make these movements more mindful?
Pay attention to bodily sensations. When walking, feel your feet on the ground, your breath, your arms swing. For stretches, feel the muscles lengthen. This presence turns mechanical action into an energizing practice. It shifts you from doing to being.
So, to summarize, energizing movement boosts physical energy through circulation, mental energy via focus and clarity, emotional energy by releasing tension, and spiritual energy by fostering presence. The key is small, consistent movements, desk stretches, movement snacks, active choices, and mindful practice.
Exactly. Create a habit of moving in ways that feel good and revitalizing. These small shifts profoundly improve your overall vitality.
It's a reminder that energy is about how we move and interact, not just what we consume.
Precisely. Making movement energizing is about finding what works for you, what feels enjoyable. It's the intention and consistency that matter.
This has been so insightful, Alex. Viewing movement as a continuous energy source is a welcome shift.
I'm glad you found it helpful, Lisa. Next time, we'll explore how social connections impact your energy. Next episode, social energy management, thriving in your connections. Last time, we explored how movement, beyond just structured exercise, can dramatically boost your vitality. Today, we're diving into a topic that's absolutely crucial for our overall energy levels: social energy management.
It's true, Alex. We're social creatures, and the people we interact with can either lift us up or drain us completely. This episode is all about understanding how our connections impact our energy and how to manage them effectively.
Exactly. Think about it. Have you ever left a conversation feeling completely invigorated, like you could take on the world?
Oh, absolutely. Those are the best kind of interactions.
And conversely, have you ever felt utterly exhausted after spending time with certain people, even if nothing particularly strenuous happened?
more times than I'd like to admit. It's like they sucked the life right out of me.
That's the power of social energy. Our social interactions have a direct impact on our mind, body, and spirit, influencing our overall energy reserves. So, the first step in managing this is to identify our energy givers and our energy drainers.
Energy givers are those people who leave you feeling inspired, understood, and more alive. They often listen actively, offer genuine support, and celebrate your successes.
Precisely. These are the individuals you want to nurture and seek out. They act like a personal charging station for your energy. Now, energy drainers are different. They might be people who are constantly complaining, dominating conversations, being overly critical, or bringing negativity into your space.
It can be tough, though. Sometimes these drainers are family members or close colleagues, people we can't simply cut out of our lives.
That's a very relatable challenge, Lisa, and that's where setting healthy boundaries comes in. Boundaries aren't about being mean or unfeeling. They're about protecting your own energy.
So, what does setting boundaries look like in practice?
It can involve several things. For example, limiting the time you spend with a drainer. If a phone call with a particular friend always leaves you feeling depleted, you might decide to keep those calls to a set duration, say 20 minutes.
That makes sense. Instead of an open ended conversation, you're proactively managing the interaction.
Exactly. Another boundary could be what you're willing to discuss. If someone consistently steers conversations towards negativity or gossip, you can politely steer the conversation back to a more positive or neutral topic, or even state that you prefer not to engage in certain kinds of talk.
Like saying, I'm not comfortable discussing that.
Precisely. It's about communicating your needs clearly and respectfully. It's also important to recognize that we can be energy drainers for others too. We should be mindful of our own behaviors and their impact.
That's a great point. Self awareness is key. So, we've talked about identifying our social energy sources and drains and the importance of boundaries. What's next in managing our social energy?
The next crucial element is nurturing the connections that give us energy. This means making a conscious effort to spend quality time with your energy givers. It's not just about being in their presence, but about engaging fully.
So, putting away our phones, really listening, and being present.
Absolutely. When you're with your energizing people, create moments of genuine connection. Share your authentic self and be open to receiving their energy. Think of it like tending to a garden. You water and fertilize the plants you want to thrive.
I love that analogy. Watering our relationships with positive attention and intention.
And what about navigating situations where you know you'll encounter energy drainers, like a large social gathering or a work event?
That can be daunting.
It can be. Preparation is key here. Before you go, remind yourself of your energy givers and the positive energy you want to cultivate. Set an intention for yourself, perhaps to connect with a few positive people or to simply be a calm presence. During the event, be mindful of who you're engaging with. If you find yourself in a draining conversation, have a polite exit strategy ready.
Like excusing yourself to get a drink or to greet someone else.
Precisely. And don't feel obligated to engage in conversations that leave you feeling depleted. Take breaks, step outside for a moment of fresh air, or find a quiet corner to recharge. It's not about being antisocial. It's about being socially intelligent and protecting your energy.
It sounds like a proactive approach, rather than just letting social interactions happen to us.
Exactly. We're the architects of our social energy blueprint. We can consciously choose how we engage with others and how much of our precious energy we invest. This also means understanding that some relationships are naturally more draining than others, and that's okay. We don't need to have deep, intimate connections with everyone.
So it's about prioritizing and being discerning with our social energy.
Precisely. It's about building a strong support network with people who genuinely uplift you and learning to manage or limit interactions with those who consistently deplete you. This isn't about judgment. It's about self-preservation and maximizing your overall vitality.
So, to recap, Managing our social energy involves three main pillars. First, identifying our energy givers and drainers. Second, setting healthy boundaries to protect our energy. And third, actively nurturing the uplifting connections in our lives while being strategic in navigating potentially draining social situations.
That's a perfect summary, Lisa. By consciously managing our social energy, we can foster deeper, more fulfilling relationships and significantly enhance our overall sense of well-being and vitality.
It really is about surrounding ourselves with people who add to our energy rather than subtract from it.
Indeed. And the beauty of this is that as you nurture your energy-giving relationships and implement healthy boundaries, you'll find yourself with more capacity to engage positively with everyone, including those who might be more challenging.
It's a positive feedback loop.
Exactly. Next episode, Harnessing Seasonal Energy.
That sounds fascinating. Looking forward to it.
Welcome back to the Energy Blueprint. Last time we covered social energy management. Today we're shifting our focus to the influence of the seasons on our energy.
That's right, Alex. We've talked a lot about daily and weekly cycles, but the natural world around us has its own pace. It makes so much sense that as the days get shorter or longer as the temperature shifts, our bodies and minds would respond.
Exactly. Think about it. In winter, when daylight is scarce and the air is cold, most of us naturally feel a desire to slow down, to conserve energy, and perhaps spend more time indoors. Conversely, as spring arrives with longer days and warmer weather, we often feel a surge of renewed energy and a pull towards outdoor activities. This isn't coincidence. It's our biology responding to environmental cues.
It's like our internal clocks are getting signals from nature. So, how can we actively work with these seasonal changes rather than fighting against them to maintain consistent vitality?
The key is to acknowledge and adapt. We can't expect to operate at peak energy levels year-round without any adjustments. During the shorter, darker days of autumn and winter, it's wise to lean into that natural inclination to slow down strategically. This doesn't mean becoming sedentary or unproductive. Instead, it's about being more intentional with our energy.
So, instead of pushing ourselves to do all the high intensity activities we might have enjoyed in summer, we could focus on more restorative practices during winter?
Precisely. This is a perfect time to prioritize activities that nurture our inner energy. Think about incorporating more gentle forms of movement, like yoga or mindful walking. This is also an excellent period for introspection and planning. Many people find winter to be a time for reading, learning new skills, or engaging in creative pursuits. And don't underestimate the power of simple rest. Longer nights can be an invitation to get more sleep, which is crucial for energy restoration.
And what about nutrition? Does that play a role in adapting to the seasons?
Absolutely. Our ancestors instinctively ate differently across the seasons. In colder months, heavier, more grounding foods were common. Think root vegetables, hearty grains, and warming spices. These foods provide sustained energy and can help our bodies feel more resilient against the cold. As spring and summer approach, our appetites often naturally shift towards lighter, fresh foods like fruits and leafy greens. Listening to these internal cues can be very beneficial.
That makes sense. It's about honoring what our bodies seem to be asking for. So, for winter, we focus on rest, more introspective activities, restorative movement, and grounding foods. What about the other seasons?
As we move into spring, you'll likely notice your energy naturally increasing. This is the time to build on that renewal. Gradually reintroduce more active and dynamic forms of exercise. Our diets can shift towards more vibrant, fresh produce. Spring is also a fantastic time for planning and goal setting, as you feel more energized and optimistic.
And summer, with its abundance of daylight?
Summer is often our peak energy season. We feel more inclined to be outdoors, socialize, and engage in more vigorous activities. It's the time to embrace the outward energy, to enjoy hobbies, travel, and connect with others through shared experiences. However, it's still important to manage this energy. Even in summer, overdoing it can lead to burnout. So, while you're embracing the energy, remember to build in moments of rest and recovery. Hydration is also key in the warmer months.
And then autumn, the transition period.
Autumn is a beautiful season of harvest and preparation. It's a time to start thinking about winding down from the high energy of summer, but not yet retreating into the deep rest of winter. It's a balancing act. We can still enjoy outdoor activities, but perhaps they become slightly less intense. It's a good time to focus on gratitude and appreciating the abundance around us. Nutritionally, autumn foods like squash and apples are perfect for this transitional period.
So let's recap. We have winter for inward focus, rest, and restoration. Spring is for renewal and gently increasing activity. Summer is for embracing our peak, outward energy, and enjoying activity. And autumn is for a balanced transition, harvest, and preparation.
That's a great summary, Lisa. The key idea is flexibility and responsive energy management. Instead of having a rigid plan that we try to force upon ourselves regardless of the season, we can create an adaptable energy blueprint. It's about observing the natural rhythms and adjusting our lifestyle, our activities, and even our nutrition to align with them.
This reminds me of something we touched on earlier in the series, Ultradian rhythms, but on a much larger scale. We're working with nature's cycles, not against them.
Exactly. When we try to maintain the same high-intensity pace all year round, we're essentially fighting against the natural ebb and flow. This can lead to exhaustion, decreased motivation, and even impacting our health. By syncing our energy management with the seasons, we can harness nature's support, conserve energy when it's depleted, and maximize it when it's abundant. It's about working smarter, not harder, and with a deeper connection to the world around us.
It sounds like a much more sustainable and natural way to live. So, the next time the days get shorter, I might not feel so guilty about wanting to curl up with a good book instead of pushing myself to go for a long run.
Precisely. It's about honoring that inner wisdom that nature is signaling to us. By understanding and adapting to these seasonal shifts, we can move towards a more consistent and resilient state of vitality throughout the entire year.
Wonderful. So, we've covered daily rhythms, weekly routines, social energy, and now the grand cycle of the seasons. It's all about building a life that supports, rather than depletes, our energy.
That's the essence of the energy blueprint. Next episode: integration and sustained vitality. Welcome back. Last time we discussed harnessing seasonal energy. Now the grand finale, integrating it all for sustained vitality.
It feels like we've covered so much ground, Alex. From understanding our natural rhythms to managing our physical, mental, and emotional states, it's all been about creating a deep, sustainable wellspring of energy.
Exactly, Lisa. Remember in the early episodes when we introduced the whole concept of the energy blueprint? We discussed how it's not about managing time, but managing our energy, our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual energy. Those four pillars are the foundation.
And we learned how crucial our ultradian rhythms are, too. Those natural cycles of focus and rest. It's not about pushing through exhaustion, but working with those rhythms to be more effective and less drained.
Absolutely. Those renewal rituals we talked about are so important. Whether it's a short walk, a few minutes of deep breathing, or simply stepping away from a task, those moments of replenishment are non-negotiable for sustained energy.
And then there's the fuel we give our bodies. Mindful nutrition makes such a difference in how we feel throughout the day. Understanding how different foods impact our energy levels is key.
It's all connected. Just like the food we eat affects our physical energy, the way we manage our minds directly impacts our focus and clarity. Cultivating mental stillness, even for a few minutes, can reset our entire energetic state.
And we can't forget the emotional engine. It's so important to acknowledge and manage our emotions, rather than letting them drain us. Learning to process feelings healthily is vital for energy conservation.
That spiritual spark we explored, connecting to purpose and meaning, that's the deep well of motivation that keeps us going. It's about understanding your why and letting that guide you.
And as we dug into identifying our energy drains is key. Those things that constantly pull us down, whether they're bad habits, toxic relationships, or inefficient workflows, need to be addressed.
Once we knew what drained us, focusing on building our daily architecture made it practical. Structuring our days to incorporate our rhythms, renewal rituals, and tasks that align with our energy levels.
And then, energizing movement. It's so much more than just exercise. It's about finding joy in movement and how it actively rebuilds our energy rather than depleting it.
We also looked at our social energy, how our interactions can either energize or drain us, and how to manage those connections for better energy flow.
And most recently, we learned about harnessing seasonal energy, adapting our routines and expectations to the natural shifts throughout the year. It's about working with nature, not against it.
So, to bring it all together for sustained vitality, it's about consciously weaving these elements into your life. It's not a one-time fix, but an ongoing practice of integration. Think of it as continuous refinement.
So, how do we actually live the energy blueprint consistently, Alex? It can feel overwhelming to keep all these parts in mind.
That's where integration comes in. It's about making these practices habitual. Start small. Choose one area to focus on for a week. Maybe it's consistently taking a 5-minute renewal break every 90 minutes, or ensuring you have a nourishing breakfast.
So, less about perfection and more about consistent effort in one or two areas at a time.
Precisely. Then, as that becomes natural, you layer in another element. It's like building a personal energy architecture. You make small, smart choices during your day that support your overall vitality. You're constantly tuning your personal energy blueprint.
And remembering that this is a journey, not a destination. There will be days when things feel off, but the blueprint gives us the tools to get back on track.
Exactly. We're not aiming for a perfect, unwavering line of high energy. We're aiming for resilience, for the ability to navigate challenges and bounce back because our foundation is strong. It's about sustainable energy for a more fulfilling life.
It's about living in alignment with our nature rather than fighting against it. And by constantly checking in with ourselves, our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual states, we can make the necessary adjustments.
Think of your energy as a garden. It needs regular tending, the right conditions, and attention to detail to flourish. Consistently applying the principles of the energy blueprint is like being a devoted gardener for your own well-being.
So, keep practicing those renewal rituals, fuel your body mindfully, cultivate mental clarity, manage your emotions, connect with your purpose, identify and eliminate drains, structure your days, move your body, nurture your connections, and respect nature's rhythms.
And importantly, continue to personalize it. What works best for you? What adjustments do you need to make? Your energy blueprint is uniquely yours, and it will evolve as you do. This is the path to sustained vitality.
It's about building a life where you have the energy to do what matters most to you, day after day.
Indeed, it's been an incredible journey exploring the energy blueprint with you all.
Thanks for listening.
Welcome back. Today, we're crafting your personal energy blueprint.
This is the culmination of everything. We've explored ultradian rhythms, nutrition, movement, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being, managing drains, structuring days, adapting to seasons, and social connections. Now, let's make it uniquely yours.
Exactly. Think of all we've learned as a toolkit. Your energy blueprint is about selecting the right tools for your life's unique landscape. It's about personalized design, not a rigid prescription.
So, how do we begin this personalization? What truly resonated with you, Alex?
For me, embracing intentional breaks, those short ultradian rhythm rests, was a revelation. I used to push through exhaustion, but now I see those pauses as investments boosting focus and creativity. Identifying my personal energy drains was also incredibly freeing. Knowing what depletes me allowed me to minimize it or prepare for it by building energy reserves.
That makes so much sense. For me, it was the nutrition mental energy connection. Realizing how foods could either cloud or sharpen my mind was a game changer. I also embraced quiet reflection for grounding. It's about building a balanced internal ecosystem.
Precisely. Now, how do we translate these personal insights into a practical blueprint? It starts with self-awareness and a commitment to continuous learning. Your energy needs aren't static, they change. So, this blueprint is a living document.
A living document. What does that look like in practice?
It means actively noticing. Keep a gentle journal, perhaps just a few notes each day. What activities energized you? Which ones depleted you? How did food affect your focus? How effective were your breaks? This isn't about judgment. It's about collecting data for your well-being.
So, we're becoming our own energy scientists, observing and experimenting.
Exactly. With that data, you can architect your day, your week, your life. This goes back to building your daily architecture. Intentionally schedule energizing activities and restorative breaks. Plan around your natural energy peaks and troughs. If focus wanes mid-afternoon, schedule demanding tasks for the morning and lower energy activities for the slump.
And it's about the quality of energy within the day. Remember our discussion on energizing movement? We can schedule short bursts of activity that re-energize us, rather than waiting until we're completely depleted.
Absolutely. It's proactive energy management. This ties into managing social energy too. Are certain interactions energizing and others draining? Your blueprint can help you consciously curate your social calendar, prioritizing uplifting connections and setting boundaries.
This is where self-compassion comes in, isn't it? We can't always eliminate draining interactions, but we can learn to navigate them and recover.
That's the key. Self-compassion. Life happens. There will be times when your blueprint feels disrupted. Illness, major life changes, demanding projects. The goal isn't perfection, it's resilience. It's about having the awareness and tools to get back on track. It's about adapting, remembering your blueprint is a guide, not a jailer.
And we learned about adapting to the seasons. It's a natural rhythm. Your blueprint might include more indoor, restorative activities in winter, and embrace more outdoor movement in summer.
Precisely. So, your personal energy blueprint is a holistic, dynamic system. It integrates your natural rhythms, physical fuel, mental sharpness, emotional resilience, spiritual purpose, energy enhancers and drainers, daily structure, movement habits, social connections, and seasonal awareness.
It sounds like a complete life strategy, not just an energy management technique.
That's the aspiration. The ultimate goal is not just to survive, but to thrive. To live a life filled with purpose, vitality, and sustained well-being. It's about taking ownership of your energy, because when you manage your energy, you manage your life. You unlock your potential to contribute, to connect, to create, and to enjoy.
So, to recap, building your personal energy blueprint involves looking back at what resonated, identifying your personal energy enhancers and drainers, and intentionally designing your days, weeks, and seasons to support your unique needs. It requires ongoing self-awareness, flexibility, and self-compassion.
And the final takeaway, your energy is your most valuable currency. By consciously managing it, by creating a blueprint that honors your individual needs, you're investing in a life of greater fulfillment and purpose. It's a continuous journey of learning and adaptation. But with the tools and awareness gained here, you are more than equipped.
This has been an incredible journey, Alex. Thank you for guiding us through the energy blueprint.
Thank you, Lisa, and thank you to all our listeners for joining us. This is the end of our series. Thanks for listening to the series.